I owe that to my devoted wife, my family, who should have bailed on me years ago, and the law enforcement officers and attorneys who took an interest in me, believed in me, and gave me another opportunity for redemption. And lastly, I owe it to myself. Today I'm just a regular Joe, a son, a husband, a father, a grandfather, and for once in my life, I'm okay with it. By popular demand, we're going to try out reading this book here, The Black Hand. For a long time, this book has defined me. And I collaborated in it. I wrote part of it, I recorded for most of it. But the great artistic talent behind it was Chris Blatchford. We had a concept, and I always had this concept, even from Pelican Bay, of writing a book. I didn't know it was going to be called The Black Hand. I thought it was going to be something entirely different. But the first idea approached me after I defected from the organization. I had my father contact Chris Blatchford and voiced that to him that I was interested in writing a book. Chris Blatchford had previously done a number of horrible stories on me. And it was my mother that contacted him and pretty much told him off. But what's not known is that I gloated in that coverage that he gave me. Every time he did a story and I saw myself on TV, it inflated my ego. I'm going to be quite frank here, because that's who I was at the time. This self-centered, egocentric prick. And when I went to him to write the book, it was all about me. I mean, I was still the self-centered individual that many think that I still am. And I wanted him, really, when I approached him, to make me look better. I remember I said, let's not do this or let's not do that. And he says, no, Rene. He said, we got to tell this story, warts and all. And I finally realized, okay, we're gonna tell it. But it was published in 2009. It was 6 years in the making. We spent hours and hours recording and multiple phone conversations and notes and collection of documents. And the book isn't simply based on my subjective experience within the organization. And a lot of people get that wrong. That I've heard many criticisms on it, but mostly praise. 99.9% praise about the book. And I say that with, truly with humility. I'm just shocked that the book still sells. It's been published about 14 years now. But one of the things that I really wanted to address is the definition of this book. Because some people read it and that's who they peg me as for the rest of my life. Like some guy that was in the mob and dropped out and testified against his former mafia members. And then social media played a role in this, and then traditional media has played a role in defining me. And others have even read my book online. There have been excerpts everywhere from the book, online and in mainstream media. And I thought it was high time that I give you an idea of who I am. So I'm going to read my book. It's time for me to read my book. But one of the realities is that we want to do this because some of the viewers ask. Some in particular, like Sandman and Mrs. G, repeated requests to read the book. Some of the viewers have asked over and over for this to be done. And I'm going to accommodate you. But I want to see how this works. If this is truly what you want, then I'll provide this content to you. But on top of that, what I really want to do is provide BTS, behind the scenes footage of Chris Blatchford and I working on the book, which we possess, as well as the original manuscript that we worked on together with red lines and notes on the side of the margins. Not in this format, but in manuscript format. I still have that. And I never really anticipated doing this. I never thought I was going to get out of prison. I never thought I'd have the opportunity to do this. So I just saved all these things, kind of like a hoarder. But here it is. In 2009, it was published by HarperCollins. So that would be 16 years ago this book was published. And you could still find it on the bookshelves today. So without further ado, I'm going to read my foreword.